Alright, welcome back to the Rat Shack. We ended the Veto video with me telling you how I was going to tell you how to get in and out of tight spots. So the scenario is you have to get in an attic and there's no walkway and you have to walk all the way across it, or you have to crawl up in a commercial building, over duct, around duct, under duct, or you just have a rooftop where it's the rooftop access is a ladder, it's got a cage around it, and we all know how challenging these things can be. So getting in and around ductwork, over, walking across a long attic, climbing up on a roof with our tool bag through a cage are all things that are challenging, especially when you have your tools. On a roof, you can tie a rope and you got to go up, and you got to tie it off, you got to get down and tie everything on and go up, pull it up, if you're by yourself, which usually as a service tech we are. Same thing when you're going into an attic. You're walking across joists or rafters or whatever, and you're using your hands to hold on, you got a tool bag on, you got a light, and you got all this stuff. So the object for me was to come up with a way to carry my tools, or at least a good set of my tools, maybe not every single tool, to an area that was pretty inaccessible, so that I could use my hands and legs and arms effectively and not lose tools along the way, not have to drag tools along the way, whether it's under a house, in an attic, or whatever. And what I came up with is something like this. Not like this, it is this. This is a fighting load carrier, and genuine U.S. Army issue, military issue. And basically it's the current iteration of load-bearing vest. Now, it was designed to be worn under a full MOLLE pack and over body armor and things like that. And the full mil-spec ones are very tough and rugged, and you're probably never going to break it. You can get these on Amazon or at a local Army surplus store for anywhere from 20 bucks to 75 bucks, depending on how much you want to spend. Airsoft guys also use these. You can buy them from airsoft manufacturers like GXG. SDS makes some for airsoft. Condor makes some for airsoft. They're not as rugged. They're not built to mil-spec standards, but for what we're going to use it for, we're not kicking indoors and dodging bullets and rolling on the ground. They're rugged enough. But like I said, the best thing is go to a military surplus store, and they usually have a big box of stuff with like this in it, with MOLLE pouches and things like that, and you can buy them. Make a few modifications to them real quick. The belt section, which goes through these sleeves, is you adjust the size here. You can adjust it 1 inch at a time, or as far as you need to. But the belt has on the front of it here some side release buckles here and here. I just take the side release buckles off, I leave the webbing on, and I run it through and wrap it. It also has on the front a type of sternum strap, and really what that's for is to keep the zipper from coming undone and the thing pulling apart. I just cut that off completely, including the strap. And then on the back there's 2 sets of sliders, one here and one here, and I cut this bottom one off because really for the loads we carry you don't need it, and it's just something else. So I just cut that off, and this is sewn on, it stays, and then I run the adjuster. This is how you adjust for the size. Like I said, it's MOLLE compatible. So MOLLE is MOLLE, stands for Modular Lightweight Load-Bearing Equipment. And MOLLE equipment is modular because it uses a PALS array, and the PALS is pouch attachment ladder system. So this webbing is part of the PALS array, and the pouches also have the matching webbing and the tails that we use in here. So you can use surplus pouches. You can modify surplus pouches to fit on this. They'll accept our tools, and they work very well. And like I said, you can get them used for next to nothing. I mean, you can buy a whole vest with 10 or 11 pouches for 75 bucks. And it's not just a one-time thing where you can only use it for one thing. It's completely modular. You can use it however you want, whenever you want. And if you don't want to look like a Marine walking into somebody's house or somebody's business wearing this, RIT dye, you can get the black or the blue, works very good. If you use the black and make it just a little bit weak, it kind of turns it into a grayish color. And depending on how much of the chocolate stains you have on here, like this, it may come out looking like a little bit of urban camouflage type. But if you use the RIT dye according to the directions, then this nylon takes the dye pretty well. So, fighting load carrier, one size fits all pretty much. Go down and buy one. So what I did is, you know, here's the scenario. We went up to the roof. We determined we got a bad blower motor on the roof. So, you know, and all we had was our little kit, screw and maybe a couple of screw gun, maybe a couple of screwdrivers, our meter. Now we need to gear up and get the motor up on the roof and get it changed out. So here's my FLC, my fighting load carrier, and this is the one I use every day. Well, not every day, but almost every day. And like I said, these pouches here are just generic MOLLE pouches that I bought at surplus stores. This one is like a 40 millimeter holder, and I don't know what this one is, maybe a flashlight or something. These are Frag grenade pouches. They work good for all kinds of things. This is a Frag grenade pouch. I just got the lid tucked in here, and that's where my meter goes. On the back here, I got a shotgun shell holder, Velcro closure. It's just a nice big bag. You can put a butt pack on here or a medic pack or anything like that that'll hold, you know, bigger stuff. And so just to show you how easy it is, you know, once you get it on and adjusted and get everything set, you know, the way you want. Again, the belt on this, you know, we took all the webbing stuff off, but it has the zipper, and you just zip it up like so. And you can see here that the bottom of the vest doesn't touch the top of my belt. So my knife and my light, my Leatherman and my phone all stays on my belt. I don't have to take anything off my belt like you do with the traditional tool belt, you know, like we use in construction, because everything that's on my belt stays on my belt. And I have everything that I normally have on my belt, and this supplements all that stuff. So, you know, I'm going to go up on the rooftop. I'm going to grab my diagonals. Right, you get a pouch like this with a, you know, that's got a lid on it. Zoom in here for you. So you get a pouch with the lid on it. You know, like you just tuck the lid in there. Right, take the diagonals, bam, they go in here. Wire strippers go in my 40 mil pouch. And if you take your tools with you when you go to the, you know, the surplus store, military surplus store, you can find these pouches that fit pretty well. Some of them may need a little bit of modification, you know, a little stitch here, a little stitch there. Maybe sometimes you can just use a heat gun. If they're a little too small, use a heat gun and put the tool in there, and it'll help form that nylon. Just don't get it too hot. So there, I may need my needle nose pliers. I'm going to stick them there. Notice that right there. No special pouch needed for the needle nose. They just fit in the webbing. I want my bed extension, so I'm going to take my bed extension again. No special pouch needed. Just thread it down through the webbing there. Pops in like so. Screwdrivers, same thing. In through the webbing. No special pouch needed. So I got my flat. I got my Malco, which got my multiple bits on it that I'm going to take with me. I have my stubby that's going to go in my front pocket here. And I may need my keystone, so I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to go one high with it because it's a little bit longer. What you don't want to do is end up with tools sticking down past the bottom of the belt, so that when you lean over, they're sticking in the gut and in the top of the leg there. Drill, a screw gun. You see mine's got a little Kydex case on it here that I built with a belt clip. So I just clip it on here, and it rides. Now, if you don't have a Kydex holster, a real easy way to carry that drill right there is get you some 550 cord, about 30 inches long, and a cord lock. Thread both ends of the 550 cord through the cord lock to make you a loop. Take the loop, push it down through one of the webbings. like that. See how I did that? Yep. And then you take your drill and you put it in the bottom loop, and you take the top and you stick it on, and you suck that cord lock down against your drill. Now the drill is held. It's right there, easy to get to. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall out. It's not going to hang on something and get, flicked off as you're going up the ladder. And if you want it to be even more secure, then you can just take another wrap around somewhere else and suck that cord lock down right there. So now what else I may need is, so my meter, a field piece meter. Again, I got a Frag grenade pouch here, and I just got the lid tucked in with my squeegee behind it. Stick this in the bottom of the pouch. I got a little piece of shock cord that I put on here. It's just a stretchy, thing with a tab that I put on it, and I just stretch it over the top of my meter there, flick it in. Now, it's not going anywhere, right? It's not going to hang up, and it's right here. See, not sticking out, not in the way of my arm. I can move, lift, boom, boom. My control screwdriver fits down right here, like that. Well, yeah, right there. Wire nuts and spade terminals go in one pouch. Screws or something else go in the other pouch. My little stubby driver goes in here. These button down. Nice secure closures. Maybe I'm going to need a fan puller. What I do with my fan puller? Oh, so I got my fan puller here, right? It'll fit on the pouch in the back. Of course, you can put that stuff in, before you put the vest on. Make sure it's in there right. So again, you don't need a specialty pouch for this because you're not going to be carrying it all the time anyway. So the big dump pouch on the back just works for it very, very good. What else do you need? Right, you're going to change a motor. You've got everything you need. Meter. If you need the anemometer, take static pressure when you're done. Stick it in the back pouch. If you need to do RPM, take your RPMometer, your tachometer, and stick it in the back pouch. Whatever you need, it all can just go. Again, you don't have to have specialty pockets for things. Here's my 435. It fits in the same pouch as my field piece meter. Again, nice and secure, right there. If I needed the probes, I could stow them as well. So what we've done is we've created a very secure, modular tool carrying system that works with everything that we already have. And once you have this stuff, the pouches will work with other things as well. You can take the belt off and use just the belt, and these pouches will go on the belt if you want to use it as a more traditional style tool belt. But you're working on something and you got your tool right there. You ain't have to look. Whether you're crawling under a house, in an attic on a long trek, up to the rooftop, whatever. You got everything you need, and it's very compact. You're not adding a whole lot here. Everything is within my shoulders. Zip it out so you can see. When I stand here, everything is within my shoulder width. So going, through things isn't going to be a problem. So for task-specific tools and to carry those, this is how I do it. So this would be for something big, like a motor change out or something like that. Something that my regular, small, quick diagnostic pouch can't handle. Although if you use a small diagnostic pouch, then it could definitely be added on here as supplement. So you may already have a couple of small screwdrivers in your meter and needle nose pliers and things like that in your diagnostic pouch. And if you do, then it can either attach to here or live on your hip wherever you normally keep it. And these bigger, heavier tools that you're going to need for the job can just be a supplement to that. So you got your tools where you need them, but you need to carry parts in and out. So you get up in this attic and you walk across these joists, these wooden joists, because there's no catwalk, and you got your headlight on, and you get over there and you find that the blower motor's bad. Or you get up on the rooftop and you find that a blower motor's bad, or a condenser fan motor. And so now we're faced with kind of the same thing. How do we carry a motor to the air handler and out of the air handler, or up the roof ladder or down the roof ladder in the quickest, most efficient way? In other words, if you're on the roof, then getting the roof rope out, tying the motor on, climbing up. If it's in a cage, if the ladder's in a cage, you have to go every 2 feet with it outside and go all the way to the top, pull everything up. But again, it's another tool, another roof attic. And if it's in an attic, then you don't even have that option. You have to carry the stupid thing in your hand and balance on the joist, and it just becomes a pain. It wears us out. This is called a Shemagh, or a kefi, or there's 10 or 15 names for these. Basically what it is a piece of cloth, cotton cloth, and it's about 42 by 42 or so, square, and it has a lot of good uses. For winter time, you wrap it up and it keeps you warm. For summertime, you get it wet and you wrap it up and it keeps you cool. You can mop the sweat up, you can mop blood up, you can clean your tools, clean your hands, use it as a sling. Grab hot. There's a lot of things that you can use. There are a lot of uses for a piece of cloth like this, and one of the coolest uses is to create an improvised pack. For example, our blower motor. Anything can be carried this way. The Japanese have a Furoshiki, and that is the art of taking a piece of cloth and folding it up so that it's a gift wrap or a bag or something like that. It's kind of like origami with cloth, but they don't make shapes. Well, sometimes they do, but anyway, called Furoshiki. Lots of cool ways to fold things. So you want to carry a motor up on the roof. So all I'm going to do is take my Shemagh here. I'm going to take my blower motor. I'm going to set it in here. And I just take these opposite corners here, diagonal, and you can do a couple of different quick ways. One, just run you a quick overhand knot in this corner. You run you a quick overhand knot in this corner, like that, and see how it creates a pocket there? Then you take these two opposite corners and you tie a reef knot in them, like so. You can do it slipped if you want, doesn't matter. Alright. Now, you got a way to carry your motor. You can stand it up on end. If, well, this is a condenser fan motor, so it's got the bolt sticking out the back. But you can orient it, however you want. And so here you go, you got it, throw it on your shoulder, or if you want to, throw it across one shoulder and over your head and carry it on the back, like so. So here it is, it's on the back, it's out of the way. You can climb up, you still have the free use of your hands and arms. It gets heavy pretty quick. I mean, you don't want to use something like this to hike the Appalachian Trail with because it'd wear you out, but going from the attic access hole over to the air handler and then back from the air handler with the old motor is very easily done. Going up a ladder to the roof is very easily done without having to get a whole bunch of extra stuff out, like roof ropes, or of course it's much safer as well. So you just create a bag, right? And like I said, Furoshiki is what it's called, and there's a lot of ways to wrap stuff and fold it. Again, improvised carrying, whether you have to carry up a furnace board or whatever it is. You know, you can wrap it up in this thing and carry it, and it's a lot better than trying to jam it in your tool pouch or stick it down your shirt or anything like that. It just works a lot better than any of those methods, and it doesn't cost you any more money if you already have one of these. And if you don't have one of these, you should have one anyway, because they're good for all kinds of things. All right, so another way to use another little wrap here. These are like my two most common wraps. Pull it over to one corner, roll this bad boy up like so, pull the slack out of it, and then same thing, tie these two corners together. And in doing this, you can also take the shaft and pull it out a little bit so that it sticks out and won't poke a hole. But again, if it does, you're not poking a hole in a $high backpack or anything like that. Tie a reef knot. If you don't know what a reef knot is, look it up. You really need to learn how to tie a reef knot, because you don't want to tie granny knots in these things. And then, so now we have a nice bag to carry our motor in. Lives right there on the back, out of the way, very secure. Nothing's going to happen. It's right there. Old motor up, or a new motor up, old motor down, and you can use it for anything, not just motors. Motors are about the heaviest thing I would do, though. I mean, you're not going to be carrying a 5-ton compressor up or anything like that with it. So, really, that's about it. You can find these Shemaghs, like I said, online, Amazon.com. This one right here is made by Rothko, or sold by Rothko. And I like theirs because they're big and thick. There's a couple of companies out there that build the more traditional style, the black and white, red and white, blue and white. And they're even bigger. Some of those are 48 by 48 instead of 42 by 42. And if you're going to get one to wear, there is a way to size these. Once you fold it in a triangle, in a triangle like this, hold it up to your neck, and you want this centerpiece to be about crotch level. That way, if it's a little bit long, it's okay. If it's real long, then when you wrap it up, it's way too much. If it's too short, then you're not going to get the wraps that you need. An alternative way is to hang it around your neck like so. And you want the two ends. In the back, you have the point down, and you want the two ends to be about waist level, belt level, or maybe just a little bit longer. And that'll give you the right size for wrapping up your noggin. But yeah, that's it. Good modular way to carry tools that are task specific. Good way to hook up your drill for transport. It's not really the most friendly to use every day for in and out. When the tool is out, if you're afraid you're going to lose your loop, just do a lark's head hitch right there, and there it is. And that also, this little cinch here works well for pretty much any size of drill you want to carry. If you're going to carry the larger drill like this one, you just have to make sure that where you're cinching it, and give it the shake test. Like this one, you may want to actually go around here. Get that adjusted down there, right? So that kind of locks in a little better. I mean, a little 550 cord and a cord lock, you can pretty much put anything on the vest you want, really. It's kind of odd shape like this. Again, not the best to use for everyday, in and out use, but getting it up over to where you're going. And the beauty of this is, no matter how you're oriented, whether you're sitting down, whether you're leaning over, whether you're standing up, all the tools stay secure. Everything is where it is. Everything stays where it is. It's easy to go in and out with this. Need the strippers. There are the strippers. Strip your wire. Strippers go back in. Everything's always in the same place. Versus a traditional tool bag like we use on construction sites that hang down. When you sit down, they dump out and all your tools dump out. Or a traditional tool bag like my Veto here, where you have to sling it on your shoulder, which really messes with your center of gravity. You know, what's good about this is it keeps everything close to the center of the mass of your body. You know, if you're under a house and you got a regular tool bag, you either have to push it ahead of you or drag it behind you. Same thing if you're crawling through ductworks or something like that up in a commercial building. You know, you got to sling it up and set it, or move and drag it. With this, you don't have to do that. And it doesn't mess with your center of gravity. That's it. And we've been through the Veto bag, the task-specific tool carry, how to improvise a quick pack to carry stuff up and down off the roof or in hard-to-reach places so that your hands are free. And man, that's it from the Rack Shack for this weekend. Y'all have a good one.